Reshus Rabbanim, on behalf of Tomche Shabbos of Rockland County, in memory of Rav Chaim Munzer. Is the mic working? No, to your advantage. I would like to thank each and every one of you for joining us in this night of Chizuk. If Tomche Shabbos ever needed Chizuk, it's now. I would like to thank tonight's honorees, each of whom, through great dedication, helped bring the message to their family and friends. They stepped in at a most difficult time, and we remain immensely grateful. It was midnight. Tomche Shabbos, September 6, 1958. The first night of Slichos, Tomche Shabbos. Before the Chazan began Slichos, Rav Elia Lopian arose to speak. Now, I only know what he said that night because one of his Talmidim that was there repeated it to me. The name of that Talmid is Rav Matisyahu Solomon. Rav Elia Lopian told the Balabatim a well-known story found in the Gemara Masechta Shabbos, Daf Kuf Nun Vav. The Gemara there tells us that when Rabbi Akiva's daughter was born, astrologers told him that she would die the day of her chasna. Many years later, the night before she was to be married, she took the hairpin out of her hair and stuck it into the wall so as not to lose it. In the morning, when she took the pin out of the wall, along with the pin came a dead poisonous snake. The night before, when sticking the pin into the wall, without realizing it, she had stuck it directly into the eye of a poisonous snake. Had she not done so, the snake would have bitten her and she would have died. Rabbi Akiva asked his daughter, "What great deed did you do to be worthy of such a close escape?" She answered that no one noticed that an ani had come to the door to beg for food. I had been given a meal because I would be fasting the next day. Since I was the only one who saw the ani and heard him beg for food, I went over to him and I gave him my meal. At that, Rabbi Akiva explained, Tzedakah tatzil mimoves. Tzedakah saves one from death. And not just from any death, but from a death that's been preordained all the way back from the time of birth. Now that Gemara is pretty well known to most of us. But Rav Elia Lopian continued. And what he said thereafter is of major importance to each and every one of us here. It speaks to us each here tonight. He quoted a Zohar, who says, whenever it's decreed in Shemayim that a calamity will descend upon a person, HaKadosh Baruch Hu first hands him a single opportunity to redeem himself. Some act of tzedakah or chesed will innocently present itself, and in Shemayim they wait to see how he responds. That act of tzedakah or chesed will be his one single opportunity to avoid that preordained calamity and to save himself. HaKadosh Baruch Hu sends the ani for our benefit. Never before in Tomche Shabbos' history have we faced what we face today. It's difficult to place into perspective the breadth of what's occurred to us financially. It's completely devastating. Tomche Shabbos recently received a letter that reads, I write this letter out of sheer devastation as well as out of my thankfulness to you. As I'm sure you must have been made aware, my husband lost his job 2 months ago. I trust that Hashem will help my husband be successful in finding a new job, but right now it's tough. Until this past Shabbos, my children wondered why we were eating bean soup and hard potato shells for both Shabbos meals. In an unrelated case, last week Tomche Shabbos received a phone call from someone who used to be a well-to-do business owner. After losing his business 4 years ago, He now owes more than $200,000 on his credit cards alone. He called us because his electricity was due to be turned off, and he pleaded for help. Another man called begging for us to find him a job. He told us he doesn't even care how much money he makes. He confided to us that his shalom bayis was at stake. He needs a job, any job. Right now, as we speak, mothers and fathers are sitting at the kitchen table, trying to figure out where they're going to move to. Children see their parents whispering. There is fear in the air. A year ago, we provided Shabbos packages to 324 families. This past Thursday night, we delivered Shabbos to 382 families. At the same time, the price of food is up. It's up way up. A year ago, we paid 98 cents a pound for chicken. Now we're paying $1.50. Due to the situation, Tomche Shabbos has had to cut food from the packages and now delivers less food to each family than we did 1 year ago. I'd like to repeat that statement in case you didn't catch it the first time. Due to the situation, Tomche Shabbos has had to cut food from the packages and now delivers less food to each family than we did 1 year ago. Over the past few months, as jobs were lost, businesses closed, people faced foreclosures and evictions, and we received the most desperate phone calls in the middle of the night. I mean, you never know what that sounds like. I kept thinking back to that thought expressed by Rav Eli Lopian that night of sleepers 50 years ago. We were the fortunate ones. Baruch Hashem, we still have a parnasa. It may not be as good as it was a year ago, but we're still only giving it. We came here tonight to help families in need. But actually, we may have come here tonight to help ourselves more than to help them. None of us has any idea what the future holds for us. But we do know that the Kadosh Baruch Hu has sent us the situation so as to offer us the opportunity to avoid an unknown but preordained calamity in our lives. In Shemayim, they're waiting to see how each of us responds. Do we significantly increase how much tzedakah we give? Do we place tremendous efforts in finding another Yiddish job? Tonight's a good start, but it's only a start. In halacha, the day starts at night and continues on into the morning, and then past that. Let's call each other tomorrow. Let's find jobs for these desperately unemployed people. Let's work together to restore the food cuts. Let's do it for them. Let's do it for us. In Shemayim, they're waiting to see how each of us responds.